away from the village. But she is stifled by the city. The people are older and very solemn and serious. Even her one joy, music, is no fun in the city salons. The music is like court dances imported from France and Germany. Stiff and staid. After another adult party, Mia runs to her room in tears. She is truly homesick. That night, her aunt concedes. Mia needs to go back home to her people. To bring Mia home, we've recruited some musical help from Jillian. We first met Jillian in Sointula, actually, this last summer. She was a member of the Sointula band, the Hilltoppers, who you heard on the CD this summer. And she performed with the Hilltoppers during our performance in Sointula. Jillian is now at UBC, and she has selected to play a few numbers that are in keeping with our turn of the century theme. Please give Jillian a warm welcome.
Just when I listen to it, I think of a woman waiting for her daughter to come back, and she's like in a train station waiting for them. So there's that sense of longing to hear about them. And the other one's all kind of romantic feel to it, so I thought that's appropriate for the marriage system. So the first one is Particularly by Bach, and then there's Salut Amour by
is a time for various tradesmen, journeymen, and belly money musicians to be out on the road. So here we are at the crossroads to Sointula. Helena, Mia's cousin, is out there to meet Mia, and soon everyone will know that she is back home.
Yeah. You're back so soon. Oh, you're back so soon. Oh,
I'm what they call a pelimanni, or a musician in Finland. And it was traditional for musicians to travel from town to town, village to village. And during the summer months, they'd meet other musicians. They'd pick up the odd job here and there. And word soon spreads around when there's a wedding coming up or a special event of some kind. And this time, I've come here for the wedding. Now, at these events in the villages, quite often, they don't really pay the musicians a whole lot. In fact, if they're lucky, they would probably play for free drinks. This in Finland is viinapalkalla, as the Finns here will know. I'm going to sing you a couple of traditional songs from Finland. These date back about 100 years or so at least. So, and who knows when? Nobody knows who wrote them. And first one is a waltz called Murari. Describes some of the various seasons that affect some of the tradesmen, the bricklayers, the painters, the apprentices, and the hobos that traveled around. And it also concerns a lost love. So, kevät toi Murari, kevät toi maalari, kevät toi rakennuksella Hans Lankkarin ja rannoille maapari. Niin paljon minä kärsinyt olen, mutta kyyneltä vuodettanut. Niin monta minä lämpinyt olen, mutta yhtä vain rakastanut. Niin monta minä lämpinyt olen, mutta yhtä vain rakastanut. No kesällä töitä teki Murari, kesällä töitä teki maalari, kesällä töitä teki Hans Lankkarin ja rannoilla maapari. Kun veiksi minun rintaani virsi, sinun katseesi viimeinen. Se oli niin kylmä, niin ylpeä, niin viekas ja petollinen. Se oli niin kylmä, niin ylpeä, niin viekas ja petollinen. No syksy vei Murari, syksy vei maalari, syksy vei rakennuksella Hans Lankkarin ja rannoilta maapari. Miksi minä kummana synnyn, miksi et syntynyt paleana? Minun armaani ei lämmin tumma, hän lämpi vain paleana. Minun armaani ei lämmin tumma, hän lämpi vain paleana. No talvella nälkää näki Murari, talvella nälkää näki maalari, talvella nälkää näki Hans Lankkari ja lihoinnassa maapari. Niin paljon minä kärsinyt olen, mutta kyyneltä vuodettanut. Niin monta minä lämpinyt olen, mutta yhtä vain rakastanut. Niin monta minä lämpinyt olen, mutta yhtä vain rakastanut. Thank you very much. The early Finnish folk songs were dance songs. Now, people were able to dance to the rhythms and the words. As the songs, they were sung quite often a cappella. That means that there was no musicians, it was just the vocal part. And you could tell right by the words, the way they went along, that you could dance to that very easily. Now, next song, I'm catching my breath here. Next song is an older song with a jenkka rhythm. Jenkka is a standard term, I guess, in Finland. We, in North America, more commonly known as the Schottish, and I think the Germans call it a Rhinelander. It goes same beat. Various verses have been added over the years, and they don't always make sense as far as telling the story, but the main theme is the pitfalls of dating. Now, a lot of the Finnish songs are all about love, and like songs are in any country. This particular song, the second line is repeated. It allows people to join in and sing. And so if you feel like singing, by all means, join in on the repeat of the second line of each verse. We've got about 8 verses here. Songs are commonly called or titled by their first line, whatever's in the first line. This one was called Suomessa minä syntynyt. It's also been given the title of Matalan Norpan palatti. And people here, it's and this one goes back quite a long ways in history too. Suomessa olen minä syntynyt tuolla kaunissa Karjalassa, sinisen järven rannalla, siellä maajassa matalassa. Sinisen järven rannalla, siellä maajassa matalassa. Matalan torpan hiiloksella käsiäni jännittelin. Matalan torpan nättiä tyttöjä omakseni ajattelin. Matalan torpan nättiä tyttöjä omakseni ajattelin. Matalan torpan viisioita tuli minä tallaneeksi. Matalan torpan nättiä tyttöjä tuli minä narraaneeksi. Matalan torpan nättiä tyttöjä tuli minä narraaneeksi. Ei mitään saa niin kirkasta vettä kuin metsälähteestä. Ei mistään saa niin armasta heilaa kuin toiseen tähteestä. Ei mistään saa niin kirkasta heilaa kuin toiseen tähteestä. Hevonen on musta kuin tiikeri, kissa ja aisat katajasta. Mamma se sanoo älä talosta, näin maajasta matalasta. Mamma se sanoo älä talosta, näin maajasta matalasta. Aseman kello löi 2 kertaa, silloin se juna vislas. Silloin se hulinili hummari poikasen torpaan tytöt kihlas. Silloin se hulinili hummari poikasen torpaan tytöt kihlas. Aseman kello löi 3 kertaa, silloin se juna lähti. Silloin se hulinili hummari poikasen torpaan tytöt jätti. Silloin se hulinili hummari poikasen torpaan tytöt jätti. Heilani illalla aseman sillalla pienen kirjeen pisti. Taisi sillä raukalla ikäväkin olla, kun hiljallensa itti. Taisi sillä raukalla ikäväkin olla, kun hiljallensa itti.
What good news! We have Mia back in our home village, and a young man from the village has plucked up his courage and asked her to wed.
Voi hyvät ihmiset ja kylämiehet, mulla on teille niin kauhean hauskaa uutista. Meillä tulee häät! Nyt se Michael, se Hansonin Jussi poika, nyt se on vihdoin ja viime uskaltanut kysyä Mian kättä ja ne on nyt morsiuspari.
So we're going to have a wedding this weekend. Hear ye, hear ye. Wedding on Saturday for 3 days between Michael and Mia.
Jaa, no 3-päiväiset häät. Voitte kuvitella oikein vanha-aikaiset kunnon häät.
And of course you're all welcome, and we ask you, everybody to bring food. Now we'll need eggs and butter and milk and cheese and fish and meat. So everybody bring what they can.
Niin, tosiaankin me tarvitaan ruokaa. Ei häät ole ilman ruokaa niin yhtään mitään. Me tarvitaan voita ja leipää ja juustoa ja kalaa ja kaikkea. Kaikkea mitä siellä tarvitaan, niin.
And of course we'll need a master chef who can prepare all the food and of course course, servers who help the master chef to serve it all.
Onko täällä yhtään vapaa-aikas, kun kuka ruppeis kokiksi? Oh, hyvä, hyvä. Ja sitten me tarvitaan tarjoilijoita. Mistä me niitä saadaan? Sieltä löytyy tarjoilijoitakin. No kyllä me sit häät saadaan kuntoon.
And of course, we'll need moonshiners who can bring the beer and the wine.
Oh, niin ja sahti ilman
Kasti, who can
muuta.
provide that. That's right.
Joo, rupeeks sä sahdintekijäksi?
Joo.
Hyvä. No
And
niin.
now that we're in good spirits and everybody's had some wine and food, we'll need some musicians who can play some music so we can all dance and have a good time.
Eihän ilman pelimannei häät oo mitään. Me tarvitaan sit musiikkia kunnon pelimannit töihin. Onks siellä muusikkoja?
On.
No niin, me saadaan sit muusikotkin mukaan. Hyvä.
Ah,
No
great.
niin, meillä on nyt sit häät valmiit.
So let's hurry and let's get the bride ready.
Selvä. Tervetuloa.
as the village Gazel and her assistant work their magic and transform Mia into a princess for the day. The bride traditionally wore black, and at dance weddings, the wedding crown was a major part of the pomp and circumstance. The crown as well as the dress could be rented from the dresser, known universally as the Gazel. The most famous dresser in Finland, in KAUSTISLAINEN, was Kruunu Marjaana. It is an interesting fact that although Kruunu Marian addressed hundreds of brides, she herself never married and therefore never got to wear one of these creations. The crowns were sometimes made of silver and gold and might have been worth a down payment on a house or a farm. More customary was the flower crown, which we have created for Mia today. The crown was in two parts, widening towards the top. Inside the big part, if the bride had conducted herself as a proper young girl should, she would be allowed to wear an honor crown, which was made of wiring covered with bright cotton thread. The main crown was about 40 centimeters high and had paper flowers attached to it with glass and mirrored pieces to make it sparkle and to suggest wealth. Mia's crown was created by Lena, who is our gazo today. She designed the crown to reflect the different stages of Mia's life. The gold band is the solid foundation of her life, representing the home that formed her character. The white flowers on the green represent her earliest childhood, where everything was greeted with pure innocence. The flowers become more colorful as she approaches her teen years, when there was still time to play and laugh for the pure joy of it. This is when the golden nuggets of advice from mother are also sown. The maturing continues until she blooms into the bright flowers of young womanhood, full of passion and ready to embrace all that life has to offer. When the bride is ready, she will be fetched. We will now watch and she's finished dressing. Ah, very nice. Now, to fetch the bride, the groom was often accompanied by his and the bride's best friends. They would go to the house. He came from his home accompanied by belly money musicians. The more people there were, the more honor to the groom. There were many ceremonies varying from village to village on how the groom's credentials were presented so that he would be allowed to depart with the bride. Our groom, Michael Hansen, who we discovered in Sointula this year, is actually from the Sunshine Coast, but has passed the test. We've all checked out his credentials. So now, fetching the bride. Soon the bridal procession will arrive, led by the bride and groom under the canopy carried by 4 of their friends. After the procession arrives at the house where the wedding feast will be held, all guests will be taking their place for the ceremony. The parents of the bride and groom are seated in the front row, designated by the hand-woven rugs. Today, Pastori Henry Aatenpoika Lahti will preside over the ceremony.
Terve, terve, seurakunta ja kyläläiset. Ja on täällä nuoria. Oh, I meet my congregation and the village people. Welcome, welcome on this auspicious day. And I see some young people too. That is just wonderful. To welcome back someone to our midst and to do this wondrous thing in our community, the wedding. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, when right after this wedding ceremony, the reception line will form, followed by toast to the bride and groom. Let the procession begin. Purpurit, a traditional wedding dance from the town of KAUSTISLAINEN, all the wedding guests had to be assigned their parts for the dance. The tällääjä announced the order in which events took place, including the seating arrangements. By some, she may have been considered to be the matchmaker or yentl of the village because she had the responsibility of selecting which young men and women would be dancing with each other during the purppuri. From the hundreds of guests, she had to choose the best dancers for the most demanding parts. I now invite Raila Kainokalevitin tytär Koski to come forth and assume her responsibilities as the tällääjä.
You can imagine how difficult that was to choose from all these guys and girls to find the right person for the right boy and a girl. Well, I made a list because it's impossible to remember everybody's name. But anyway, I chose these pairs now. Risto Hermanin poika Sokkelo and Kristiina Edmunin tytär Harapa. Aate Henrin poika Lahti and Tarja Einon tytär Lahti mies. Roope Oskarin poika Orava and Helena Olavin tytär Soikkeli. Jarli Paulin poika Kristensen ja Tarja Viljan tytär Yrjönä. Taavetti Einon poika Pitkänen ja Aleksander Tapanin tytär. Niin, mikähän se sukunimi mahtaakin olla. Erkki Antin poika Saari ja Liisa Joosefin tytär Kreetsi. Aate Arnen poika Stale ja Riitta Martin tytär Kataja Mäki. Veeta Valtarin tytär Peri ja Kosti Väinön poika Uusi Kartano ja Leena Tahvon tytär Kuvaaja. And she can dance with anyone she likes. And then, last but not least, we had the master dancer of the village, Victor Josuan poika Ruutukoski, and he will have the honor of the dance with the bride.
The purppuri is a medley or potpourri of dances. The first recorded program of the dance comes from a party held by the Countess Arnfeld in Turku in 1818. The purppuri survived as a ceremonial dance well into the 1930s and has now been revived as a performance dance by many troops in Finland. The KAUSTISLAINEN purppuri is led by the top couple, which was usually the bride and groom, as you have heard. The tällääjä announced today that our wedding it will be the bride Mia with Master Vihtori. There might be anywhere from 10 to 100 couples dancing at the same time. History books refer to a 3-day wedding held in 1908 in Varila, where on the first day the young canopy carriers danced the purppuri, which lasted 6 hours. On the second day it was danced again with the older generation in key processions. Let us now join our wedding party and begin the purppuri from KAUSTISLAINEN to celebrate Mia's wedding. Maestro, please, the purppuri. Thank you all so much.